Watch out now. It's your girl Latasha with the LCL Show. And that's right. We coming through the roof. Security. So listen, tonight we have a phenomenal show. I got my boy Isaiah pulling up on us for the second time. He's going to make a grand appearance right here on the LCL Show. Oh, so I thought somebody said something. And the topic tonight is going to be so amazing. So make sure you guys pull up, tune in, like, and share. Drop those comments because we're about to go in. And this is basically touching on a lot of things that we go through every day. The mind battles, the family members, difficulties with your family members and how to cope with those type of situations. And it doesn't matter who it is. The same formula applies to everybody, okay? So I got my boy coming up in a minute, but before we do, before we do, watch out now. I'm going to go ahead and bust y'all with the introduction. I am your host, Latasha, and always remember to watch out now. Welcome to the LCL Radio Show. I am your host, Latasha. Watch out now. The LCL Show. It's the LCL Show. It's the LCL Show. Watch out now. It's the LCL Show. It's the LCL Show. It's the LCL Show. Watch out now. We're coming through the roof. We're coming through the roof. We're coming through the roof. Security. We're coming through the roof. We're coming through the roof. We're coming through the roof. Security. Watch out now. Watch out now. Watch out now. Security. Watch out now. Watch out now. Watch out now. Security. That's right. Watch out now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do me a favor. Go ahead, like, and share this live. Like I said, we got some dope knowledge coming with my boy Isaiah, better known as 11 Security. And we're going to go ahead and bring him on, add him to the screen. Isaiah, how you doing? Watch out now. How's it going, Isaiah?
It's going. It's going great.
All right. Awesome. Nice to see you. You're looking good, man.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting younger and younger and younger.
Amen to that. Watch out now. So I know tonight, before you came on, I let the people know that this is actually your second appearance on the LCL Show. So welcome back.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
How do it feel to be back?
You know what? I've been wanting to get on your show for a long time. For a second time. The first time was with Lolly, right?
Right.
And so I've been wanting to get on, and I hope to come back again.
And he actually hit me up. He inboxed me today. He's like, so no invite? He said something like that. Like, I don't get no invite. I'm like, I told him he could pull up if he want to. Watch out now. Wow. You know, we'll love to spread the good news. So before we get into it, can we let the viewers know just a little bit about yourself, Isaiah? And then also we'll get into the name change as well.
Oh, boy. Let me read about myself.
Only on the LCL Show. Watch out now.
Most people, when you ask them that question, they're like, dang, I hate talking about myself. We talk about ourselves all the time. It's not until somebody asks you something about yourself, you know? And so, what do I say, Tasha? What do I tell them?
I mean, you tell me that is what's going on in your life right now and what path are you on?
Well, you know what? Interesting enough, we're always, because somebody asked recently, how do you find your path, right? And the interesting thing is, you're never not on your path. You're always on the path. It's just that oftentimes it doesn't look like the thing we desire, or we may not like the things we're experiencing. And so we think we're off the path, but you're always on the path. Where else could you be if you're not on the path? And that's the question. Where are you if you're not on the path?
Right. Right.
So, but I've been shifting. I mean, even as far as like a name change, been evolving. It's interesting how you hit like your mid-40s and you really start to figure like
you're in your 40s.
But in less than 5 years, in less than 4 years. You know what? I'm in my 47th year.
Really, Isaiah? I had no. You're getting younger and younger by the minute. I'm telling you. And that's why you started the stream off with saying that, because you're aging backwards. Dude, you're Benjamin Button.
You know what? And the thing about I like how you said earlier, we're just gonna flow because the words that we're using, see the words is we gotta be very careful the words that we tell ourselves. I mean, we're telling ourselves all kinds of crazy. I was talking to somebody earlier. He said, "Man, damn, I'm such an idiot sometimes." I'm like, "Why would you say that to yourself about yourself?"
Not knowing that those things manifest.
Yeah, and it's and so we say so many of the things like people would say, man, my memory says I have bad memory. Why would you say you don't have bad memory? You don't practice enough, so it's not as good as you'd like it. But we we have to be very conscious of the things we say to and about ourselves.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, and I'm embodying youthfulness and vitality and health and wellness, and so that's a language I speak every day. And so
Awesome.
and
Awesome.
I'm actually writing a book right now. And the title of the book is Young Like This.
Young like
And
this. I like that. Watch out now.
yeah,
Yeah.
the subtitle is When 50s Can Look Like 30s. And
Okay. Watch out now.
so in the next few years, to be 50, to hit 50, like that sounds weird. Like because what happens is, we were born and we have this image in our head of what certain age is supposed to look like. But what is
Right.
50 supposed to look like?
Right. Exactly. And
And
I
so
have a habit of telling people, they be like, oh yeah, I'm 50, I'm 80, I'm this, I'm that. And I'm like, I have a habit of saying, wow, you look good. But at the end of the day, what do 80 look good look like?
exactly.
I totally
And
get it.
so the images we have in our head, you and I, we get to redefine those images, what they look like, what it's supposed to look like.
Right. Right.
So because most of what we've been taught we're being like a lot of it were lies, but yeah, we get to define. So I said, I mean, I'll define what I'm supposed to look like, however that's supposed to be, and I'm just gonna be,
Right.
you know.
Right. Absolutely. So look, I want to go ahead and touch on the fact that, the family member parts, because I remember speaking to Isaiah earlier last week. I mean, we were on the phone and I just be calling for simple stuff that takes 2 minutes. Sometimes it'd be a yes or no question. And we end up being on the phone for well over 15 to 20 minutes every time,
An
because
hour.
of the knowledge that this guy drops. It's like one of those things you can't shake. Like you don't want the phone to come from your ear. It's like something within you needs to hear what you have to say. And that's how I feel. So I know we were speaking about family members and protecting our peace. And I end up asking you, like, how do you protect your peace in the mix of a family member, and what if you're sent there, but then you came back and you like, bah, 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 like you bust every balloon, every question that I had, and you broke it down to me. So that's one of the topics that I want to be able to touch on tonight, and and just let everything else flow. But
Yeah.
what is it with those, sometimes what we call toxic family members, and this is family, like how do we deal with that?
Well, first thing I'll say is family. Family is a relationship word. So first and foremost, if you're not vibing on a frequency where we're trying to develop a relationship, we're not family. Now, we might be relatives by blood.
Mm-hmm.
We're related by blood, but that doesn't make us family.
Right,
You know,
right,
and so that's where I come from. So how you have some people you meet on the journey, you meet people. I mean, you've never met this person in your entire life. First time meeting them, and you click with them, and before you know, I mean, you vibrate like you're like you've known each other for forever.
right. Yes, I've had that experience a few times.
And so and then you develop a relationship with this person that your relatives have never even gone there with you. And,
Wow. Right.
um, and then I mentioned I was like then I threw out that whole Jesus thing. I was like, Jesus was I don't know, I think he was coming out of synagogue. They're like, yo, Jesus, your mom, look, you're like, who is my mom? You know?
Right. Right.
In
Right.
essence, when you're about your business, and I'm like this, man, if there are people in my life that I say so-called family who are
Uh,
relatives and who are holding me back,
uh,
um, we're not family. We're related
wow.
by blood. But you mean to tell me, right? Because we were born, we had the same mom and dad, and I'm just gonna allow to mind you, nobody holds me back. I
Right.
allow the situation to hold me back. I allow things to happen that, in essence, I'm holding myself back, and I'm just blaming you for holding me back. So
Wow.
I'm gonna allow them to tie myself to this relationship. Let's say it was a brother who,
Okay.
who holds me back. Oh, it could be your mom.
Very
Now,
well so. I mean, there is no discrimination when it comes to this. I'm telling you, especially
yeah,
for people who are watching, like either they can relate or they know a situation like this.
yes, and and also too, and for me, I love. I'm gonna tell you, man, I love everyone. Now, it's interesting. I
Right.
say I love because what happens is this, man. I tapped in. I fell in love with myself, and it made it so easy to just love everyone.
I
And
know. Oh my God. Go ahead. Go ahead.
so now, so those same people, like I say, let's say it was my mom. If my mom was like, I mean, like really holding me back in some way, shape, or form, either through negative talk or just whatever it may be, I then get to learn how to love her.
Right.
You know,
Because you
it
learn
may
to
be
love
that,
yourself.
yeah. So now it may be that I don't come around as often. I
Hmm.
still love you, but I know every time I come around, there's some drama. Well, I may not come around as often. I still love you.
Right.
You know, I may not talk to you as often. I still love you.
Okay. And I want to elaborate on that. Big facts, Isaiah. Big, big, big facts. And I say that because you can love people without having to physically be around them, you
Yep,
know? And just because you are blood related does not mean you are family. We, like you said, we related by blood. And if this certain family member or whoever do not bring me peace, they don't even got to be with a family member, whoever, this situation, this job, whatever. I have a choice to say, I don't want to be around it, but I love these people. You know, it's nothing against the people. It's just I choose peace. I love these people, but I choose peace. And I just don't want my peace disturbed in this situation.
absolutely, yeah. And it's all and oftentimes it's well, not even oftentimes, and it's usually just the ego that keeps presenting.
Ooh.
Now, the thing then also too is their ego, these things that we get to deal with other people, it's actually serving us. Because if I
Okay.
come around you, if every time I come around you, I get triggered, then that means I have stuff to work on. If
Right.
things if things that you're doing are disturbing my peace, then that means I get to work on how is it that I'm allowing you to disturb my peace?
Right.
Then that means
Right.
I got work to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I heard, I don't know if it was Eckhart Trolley or Dr.
Mhm.
Wayne Dyer, um, who said that about the whole peace thing and about
Mhm.
you don't have to, associate with certain people that disturb your peace, but still love them as you love yourself.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah,
And I
man.
want to
It's
go ahead and give some shout outs because you have a big fan base. Seems like we got Chris B. Hey, Chris B. He said good stuff. We got Latoya Rattler. How you doing? She said young like this. Wow. Then she got longevity. We got Nakia, very knowledgeable. We got Baleen who said facts. And then we got Spin off the bone said this man is one of the reasons I am where I am today. You are such
okay.
a freaking big inspiration in the community. I thought it was just me. I
It
thought it
is
was
you.
just me. I'm like, this man always takes the time out of his life to encourage, inspire, me, but it's the whole village you got up here, yo. What's going on?
And you know what? There's a phrase I often use, and it is you because there's a phrase that says, "I am
Uh-huh.
because you are." I am because you are.
Watch out now.
You can say that in every situation. I am because you are.
I love it. So tell us a little bit about this journey that you're on.
Oh
Because you've
man,
been
it's
doing some Instagram and you've been on this thing where you get up there and you talk like almost every single day you're telling a story or you're encouraging someone. What's up with that and where did it come from?
it's a training. I've been doing this training. It's called Your 10 Life, and The training is it's a transformational program that helps to get you to vibrate on a frequency where you're actually, I mean, achieving things and accomplishing things that you set out to accomplish. You get to discover or become aware of the things that are holding you back, and how to break through with those things.
Like, but what is the breakthrough? There's a lot of people right now who are going through these situations and who are trying to break through. Like, what have you come to the conclusion that says enough is enough? What do we have to tell them?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing that one of the things that came to me was I had this limiting belief, and I'm going to tell you, the vast majority of us walking around, I would say 99.999% of us walking around have limiting beliefs, and we hustle, we work hard, we do all these different things, we set goals, all these things, and all too often is limiting beliefs that are holding us back. And one of them that I had was during the training, and it's been running me for like 30 years.
Wow.
And never knew it was going on. It was, beneath the surface on the subconscious level. And so it was a limiting belief that said I was not enough.
Wow.
Now,
this is nothing nobody is verbally saying to you. This is yourself.
Yeah, and it's unconscious. You don't know what's going on. It's a story that's running in the background of your computer. Because the computer is running and it's on the background, and it's actually dictating your life. And so for me, not enough. For example, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who can relate to this. Let's say you have a business or you have a product or service, and I'm going to give you my example. I've ran this t-shirt business for a very long time, and my limiting belief was I'm not enough. So not enough says you needed 100 t-shirts for your family reunion, and I charge you what? Let's say $7 a shirt. $700, right? So you came to pick up your shirts and you're giving me the money and you're counting, okay, 100, 200, 300, 450, 650. You know what? Just give me 650. Why can't I just accept and receive the 700?
Wow.
I have to diminish the receiving end because I'm not good enough. And I'm not aware of it. Or something as simple as a compliment. I have some dope sneakers on, and you like, oh my God, yeah, those are some nice sneakers. I'm like, oh man, these old sneakers, I had these for years. Why can't I just say, Tasha, you know what? These are some nice sneakers. Thank you.
Right. We are our biggest critics.
But we're diminishing, I'm diminishing the receiving end. So on some level, I have to like minimize the effect of what I'm going to experience. And so, man, these are some old sneakers, man. I had these for years. But why can't I just say, you know what? Thank you. These are some nice sneakers. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right.
And so on so many different ways, we find ourselves with these limiting beliefs, and also too past like childhood traumas, all kinds of stuff are holding us back. And so now, mind you, I hit my mid 40s, and I'm realizing that I had a limiting belief that said I'm not good enough. So now, and not good enough, you find yourselves in relationships where you're sabotaging relationships because you're not good enough for the relationship. Now, it's not conscious. It's not a conscious thing, but it's an unconscious thing. And you don't even know why you're freaking operating the way you do.
Wow. Wow. And we carry so much of it, not even just in relationships, but even with friends and families. Like, we carry so much of it. And I mean, before I even started being on the journey that I was on, I could be sitting in my car and a situation that happened, God knows however long ago, will come up and make me so angry. There's nobody there. It's just something that I chose to entertain in my thoughts to make me angry. Not knowing what I know now is how to address it, confront it, and really see, why is this making me so angry? Sometimes you got to confront those situations. Don't just let stuff sit there. Confront it, call it out. Yeah. It's not as fearful as you think it is. And that's what I've learned along the journey. And that has helped me in so many ways. How to become limitless. Really, you have to get out your way when it comes to becoming limitless. Don't limit yourself. I always have to remember and remind myself, I am abundance. I have the power to get and create whatever it is I want. I am limitless. There is no limits. Like you said, we place limits on ourselves, and we have that power, and it will serve you. So when you lift those limits, your unlimitedness will serve you just like your limitless did. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, because we're amazing. I'm gonna tell you, we've been conditioned to identify with our lesser selves, but we are amazing human beings. Wow. You can ask, I'm gonna tell you, you can ask average person. I do it all the time. I ask people, I'd meet people, I said, man, how amazing you think you are? How amazing are you? Or meet somebody.
Even for the viewers tonight, how amazing are you? Go ahead, drop that in the chat. Yeah. Go ahead, Isaiah. Finish the story.
And I'm like, well, I'm all right. I'm not that amazing. I'm like, but see, how is it that we so easily identify with our lesser selves? And so, or ask somebody how beautiful they think they are, and they'll like give themselves like a 6 or a 5, and I'm not that beautiful. And I said, what if I told you were a 10? I'm like, I don't know about that.
Wow.
And I'll tell you, I'm freaking amazing. I mean, when I started to learn, you know what? Let's say the whole universe God created, right? It's 100%, right? Everything in it, it's 100%. If you were to take you out of it, it's no longer 100%.
That's how much you matter.
You are necessary for this whole thing to exist as a whole.
That's right. Absolutely.
So I wrote this poem that says, I'm necessary to God. Like I'm an expression of God on the earth.
Right.
You know,
right.
And so but we have a lot of gifts that are packed inside of us. As a matter of fact, you know what? I created this T-shirt that says because I'm developing my personal brand. I'm no longer going to just sell products. I'm developing my personal brand, and the value will be in the brand, so that at any point that I come up with a new product, the value will be in the brand itself, and the product will have I would say it'll be a valid product. And so one of the shirts I created says BYOB, build your own brand, because each individual on this planet is a brand.
Right.
We identify with other brands like Nike and, you know, just any brand you can name, but we're individual brands. Now, what if you think about this? What if you were to, and another shirt that comes along with that is BYU. What if you were to brand your uniqueness?
Wow.
I mean, what you're doing right now with your show is you're branding your uniqueness.
Right.
We're unique beings, and we get to brand, like my man Span, who did a shout out. He's branding his uniqueness. He's spreading love.
Yes.
You know, and feeding people.
Yes.
And he's branding himself. So brand your uniqueness. Each and everyone on this planet has something unique about them. Now, let's take your fingerprint alone. Your fingerprint alone tells you, like, you know what? You're a unique individual. And you're packed with a bunch of gifts that we get to unfold, unpack and unfold. And so I'm branding myself right now. I'm gonna tell you, part of getting younger is this. I'm doing things I've never done before. I actually just loaded a video about 2 hours ago, a shuffle dance. I don't freaking dance. I just started dancing, and what happens is this: because it requires coordination, it affects neural pathways in the brain. It making new connections in the brain, and ultimately is affecting my body, and I'm getting younger.
Wow.
And so, but yeah, we get to brand. So now you saw me on my Instagram. I even wrote some songs. I've been like messing with the guitar for like 20 years. I never really dove in.
You're so talented. Like you wear so many hats, and wow. And I mean, sometimes I don't even know how you do it.
Well, it's not until like in the recent past, I'm starting to realize how amazing I am as a being. And it's not from an ego, it's from a creation standpoint.
Right.
It's not like ego. I'm gonna tell you, when you put your ego to tell your ego to sit down, your amazingness out of creation, like from your godlike self, start to evolve and start to come to the. And so all these things that I enjoy doing, I just start doing them, being like a freaking little kid, like just having fun while you're here.
Right.
And just doing the stuff, play the guitar, write some tunes.
And how do it feel? Like, how has that changed your life?
I mean, you know what? I'm feeling, going back to where I'm feeling limitless, like the word you used earlier. Feeling limitless, because what can you not do?
Right.
So now, if you can do anything, well, choose to do something. Most people just choose to do nothing. I think about
Right.
it. You come home from work, you I don't know, prepare something to eat, hit the couch, and watch freaking basketball, or watch, I don't know, Real Housewives, whatever those shows are
TV.
called.
Yeah.
Like, or you're at home and you can't wait to get home because the award show's coming on. Now, I don't care about those things. I'm not saying that they're bad or wrong,
Right.
but
Right. Right.
I mean, like, you get to choose what you want to do. Like, do some amazing stuff. Have
Right.
fun. And so, but that's the kind of stuff that ages because we're not living with passion and excitement and just vigor.
Right. Right.
But yeah,
So go ahead.
oh no, so we get to have fun while I'm gonna tell you, we get to have fun while we're here. You're only here for like freaking like 70, 80, 90,
I
whatever.
mean, if that, if
Yeah,
that, you don't know what tomorrow brings, so enjoy right now.
right now. And and this is something I've been thinking about recently. About a couple weeks ago when I don't know if you know Khadija.
No.
Well, yeah, she was somebody I knew. We were kind of cool. And she had passed. But up until I'm gonna tell you, just I started reflecting on my own life. I'm like, dude, am I living or am I merely existing? And then up until like a couple of days ago with DMX, I'm listening to some of his videos and the stuff that he was saying. I mean, this was giving thanks for everything.
Wow.
And so if we can live from a place of gratitude and just being this present moment, because I'm gonna tell you, I was at the beach the other day and this guy had a tattoo that says "Carpe Diem," and Carpe Diem is like seize the day. And I looked at him like, you know what? How about carpe momentum? In the Latin, momentum is meaning this moment. Why don't you just seize this moment? Because this is all we have right now. This moment. That's it. Nothing else. So you there?
I'm here. Watch
so
out now.
well,
And that's why we have to cherish it and make it count. See, this is what I do. I sit my kids down at least twice a week, and
mhm.
we read, and we talk about things because I let them know how important their now is. Like, you're a kid, enjoy your life. You have no business worrying about anything. And then if you do, what has that changed? This
Yep.
situation always end up working its way out. It's gonna work out however it's gonna work out. Worrying, doubting, being fearful and having anxiety, it's all a waste of your now. Enjoy now, especially, for example, people who say they love God and believe God and trust God, but then will worry to death and will stress to death.
literally,
Like,
literally,
for
yeah.
real.
And you know what? And the death, and interesting enough, worry. What is it? Stress is the number one killer. You know,
Really?
all these diseases you find people are because what happens is the body is okay. The word disease itself tells you dis-ease. So when you're stressing, your body is not at ease, and then over time it just manifests these illnesses that people are experiencing. And so yeah, but if we can just settle in this moment right now, everything is happening in
Mhm.
this moment right now.
Right.
Now I heard and so going back to what you saying as far as stress and anxiety, there are two beautiful gifts that we were given as human beings. Two beautiful. I mean, we were given like tons of gifts, but these are two beautiful ones I really, really love. One's called memory. One's called memory, and one's called imagination. Think
Wow.
about it. Now, memory, we use memory, and look at how human beings use memory. Like you and I, we can start like reminiscing on things from the past. Like when we used to
Right.
be nutrition smart, and I'd come by there all the time. We'd laugh and
Right.
have to learn a lot of stuff. And actually, that's when we first met. And so we
Right.
can we can use memory to remember things from the past that were beautiful, like memories with your kids. But you know what
Yeah.
we use memory for? You know what we use memory to remember the dumb stuff that happened. You remember you want to create some drama, so you're remembering the things that your boyfriend, your husband did like a week ago, last month, or last year, or remembering all kind of dumb stuff,
Wow.
and to create this ease in this present moment. And a lot
Wow.
of it unconscious patterns when we can use memory to just reminisce on beautiful times, to bring those times to this present moment, and then enhance them. Now, imagination. Imagine we could sit right here. We could take a segment of this show right now and start imagining some beautiful times. Imagining the empires that we could create. Imagining
Right.
beautiful family relationships. Imagining all things beautiful and godly, right? But
Right.
you know what they do? You know what people do? Man, they imagine, man, I wonder who she with. Man, I wonder who you imagining who your boyfriend or your husband, who they with right now. Based
Wow.
on your limiting beliefs, you're imagining who he or she with and
Wow.
creating stress for yourselves. And ultimately, that imagination is creating that thing that you don't even want.
Wow.
See
And
what you
that
create.
and that is why it's easy to take old relationships into new relationships. You know, you
Yep.
don't physically have to take the person, but you're taking the person, if that make any sense. Like you're carrying all the baggage that
Yep.
this person packed up and stored, that you packed up and stored about this person. Actually, nope, no blaming
And,
nobody on the outside, that you packed up and stored, and now you're taking it into this other relationship with this new person, new everything, new memories, and but yet you letting the old ones,
and you're
and it happened because it happened to me.
and we recreate. And what happens is now we're recreating what was created before.
Mm,
And
right,
because we bring that to the present, and we create it again.
right, right.
And
Wow.
now,
And
so
we
now,
don't even know or realize that we're doing it, until after this big fight started, until after everything exploded. And then you have time to sit down and you think about it. Whether a person want to say sorry or not, they sit down and they know, like, we all have a conscience, like, I could have handled that better,
yeah,
or
but all too often, until somebody wakes up, I mean, they shift their consciousness. They will never realize that they're the ones creating it, because
right.
the illusion is that because this is a new person, it's so easy to point at them.
Wow.
And then also too, I mean, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you, in our language, so we oftentimes, even prior to all of this stuff, we're setting up the stage because we use really, really messed up language. I'm gonna give you, let's say the person who says, "Man, ain't no good men out there."
I
Well,
used
how
to
are you
say
gonna
that.
find one? Because think about this: if you say there ain't no good men out there, you just basically created a scenario for yourself where you can never get one because there aren't any.
You're right.
Now,
You're
because
right.
and so now, if we use the language, well, man, there's so many bad men out there. Then you said there's so many. You didn't say all of them.
Right.
There's a
Right.
possibility that you can find a good one, but all too often, man, ain't no good men out there.
Yeah.
You
Are
know,
they
or
all cheap? Are they all this? Are they all that?
yeah. And when you say all, you lump them all. Now you're crazy for thinking you could find one because you said outside of that all.
Wow.
And so,
You
but
don't
the
even
language,
realize the barrier you create. You don't realize everything that happens right now in your life has something to do with how you created it. Something to
yep,
do with your thoughts, something to do with you attracting exactly what is going on right now in your life. See, I never understood the good quotes. Oh, love yourself, and and do right by others, and have peace as much as you can, and sit down and go within. I never understood all of that. I just thought it was just, oh, you could be whatever you want to be. I always used to think it was just something that people say to people to probably sound like they care or whatever. But really,
yeah,
these are the small things that's going over our head that make the biggest difference.
yeah,
We're looking for this thing to come out the cloud, the savior, when we have the power within us. Like you said, we have the power to shift this.
yep. And
We
that's
have the power to shift this.
yep, yeah. And it's and because we those were gifts that we were given. Like we were created in an image and likeness,
Right.
God. And so, but all too often we give our power away. We give our power away to all entities that are external. Everything that's outside of us, we give our power to.
Right. And
You
that's
know,
why
and
a lot of the reasons why there's so much crime too is because the things that are waved in our face. We can't listen, I had to realize, because I was a materialistic person too. I had to realize, do I really care about this purse? Whatever happened to me, can I take this purse with me? Is it worth all my peace and stressing about it? If somebody look at it, touching and getting into it with a brother and sister about it, is it worth? Is this material thing that I can't take with me, is it worth what the energy and everything that I'm putting into it. Like, is it worth it? Is
Yeah,
it worth harming another brother or sister about it? Is it worth taking another soul? Is it worth it? So I be thinking like that when I hear about the crimes and everything, and I don't judge it, you know, but the harvest is plentiful. That's all I got to say. The laborers are few, the harvest is plentiful, you know, and everybody is called. Everybody hear that calling. And that's one thing, that's a conversation I had to have with myself this morning. Like, I know other people have to hear this, you know, and it's still in a small, but it's something that nugs and tags at you because you have a purpose and you have something to do. You know, we're not here for ourselves. We are here for a purpose to help other people. And when you hear that calling, I can't shake it. So I just gave in to it. The best decision ever. Best decision ever.
Yeah, man. Because we're here. I mean, to be of service to humanity, and the gift, and the gift that we were given, the gift that we came here with, it's for service to humanity. And then the thing about it is, everything that we need comes packaged with that gift,
right?
And so,
so you believe that everything that whatever our purpose is already within us?
I believe so. But we're also raised in a construct, in a matrix of sorts, where we're all conditioned to go down the same path, which is go to school, study hard, get good grades, go and get a degree, and go and get a job. Now the thing about it is, the construct is basically to build an empire and using the commercial energy of people to build it. Now, meanwhile, you know, you have a gift that's inside that's never explored. You know, even from the time we're little,
right?
We're conditioned with this stuff, and but now you may find is there are times when let's say a little kid is in church, and I'm using church as, you know, and they're in the choir, and you hear that voice, you're like, dang. I mean, this kid's like 3-4 years old, and that voice, now they see the voice immediately. So you know that this person right here has a gift.
Right.
You know, and that's something that can be explored. But all too often, most of our gifts are not, you know, we're not aware of it because it's not so evident. In the case where this kid is in church, you know, singing in the choir, it's like it's easy to recognize, but most of us, our gifts are not easy to recognize because we're going through a system that's not designed for the individual. You know.
Wow. Well, hold that thought, Isaiah. We're gonna go ahead and go to our breaking news, you guys. So we're gonna be right back. Hold on for me, Isaiah. So watch out now. So listen, guys, there has been a situation. We have a mother of two, which happens to be my sister, who actually got her car was caught on fire over the weekend. And I've been sharing it on my page. I actually started a GoFundMe because of the insurance that she have. Geico denied her. They won't even give her a rental car because they said that she had to have a certain kind of insurance called comprehensive insurance. I hope I said that right. But anyways, watch out now. And she didn't have that insurance. So I assured you the money is going to a good cause, and anything helps, you know, even if you could cash out or go ahead and make the payment or make a donation on GoFundMe. But I want you guys to see exactly like what's going on and what happened. So stand by. We have news coming up next. Watch out now. Watch out now. Thank you guys so much. We're going to go ahead and bring my guest Isaiah back to the stream. You guys make sure you tune in, like, and share. If you have any questions for Isaiah, please feel free to drop them in the comments. We will acknowledge them while we're on the show. So watch out now. Hey, Isaiah, how's it going?
I'm back.
Watch out now. So listen, I know we got to start wrapping things up, but I want you to share something like very inspirational with the people that are watching, who don't know where to start, who don't know how to tap into their higher self, or who don't know how to love themselves. Like, what type of advice would you give them?
Oh boy. Well, you know what? This one of the biggest things for me was going within. And there's this I always go back to this one script in the Bible that says, like, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all its righteousness. And so I'm not like super religious in any sense now, but that's something I pivot on more often than not, because everything is inside of you. Everything. Wow. And so, but all too often we identify with everything external, even to the point where we value other people's opinions over our own feelings and beliefs.
Wow.
And so, everything is impacted inside of you. Now, this past year was a great time for people to do some reflection. Into 2020, go within. Now, we talk about 2020 vision. That was a time to go within and see what you needed to see on the inside.
Right.
So, but moving forward, we have to be learners. And I'll finish with this. It's very important that you're a learner, however which way you learn, whether it's reading a book, whether it's listening to audio, go to seminars, whatever it's important. There's a quote, I forgot who said it, but it says, the learner shall inherit the earth.
Wow.
And the learned shall be perfectly suited for a world that no longer exists. So if you're a learner, you'll be able to adapt and evolve as time change. But if you're somebody who's not a learner, or someone who has already learned everything you needed to learn, as everything is
evolving, a pessimist,
and you will the world will be evolving, and you'll be perfectly suited for an old world that doesn't exist anymore.
Wow.
So it's very important that we become learners, like I said, in however way however which way you learn best. Like I said, I mean, I'm big on like audiobooks. I'm big on YouTube. I have tons of books. I read a lot. And so but yeah, it's important to be a learner.
Right.
That way you can always learn something new. As times are changing, you can learn something quickly. And how fast you can learn, that's how fast you can evolve.
Wow. That is dope. And that like sums it up in a nutshell. That sums it up in a nutshell. Christabella said, I always say I'm a forever student. That's right. We have already too many, what they call them? Too many chiefs and not enough Indians. And in order to teach, you're going to have to know how to be a student. Even the teacher have to know how to serve. It's not about getting up there and then, follow me and that's it. No, you have to show, you have to serve, and I don't mind being a student. I don't mind being a student. Oh my goodness, I don't mind. And I still need it, and I'm still learning, but I don't mind being a student, because that, like you said, that's the only way I'm gonna learn. If you know it all, then
yeah, you'll kind of saw, like Crystal said, it's a lifelong life. You know what? 3 L's, lifelong learner. You're a lifelong learner,
right? Because I'm pretty sure you don't know everything there is to know. God did not give you all the answers. Then no. And I know do you know a few people like that?
And you meet them every day, and it's but yeah, be open to learning. I mean, and just a lifelong learner. And you know what? And the faster you can learn, the more rapidly you can evolve as the times are evolving, because times are changing. I mean, things don't go back to where they used. People are like, man, I can't wait things to get back to normal. What normal? Things don't go back, because when you stretch a rubber band, it doesn't go back to the original size. And so, yeah, that's what's happening.
Wow. Well, you know what? We're gonna keep inspiring. Keep doing the best we can and do right by people. You know, doing right by people don't mean you have to be up under them. Don't mean that you have to be around them. Just do right by people by doing right by yourself. And like Isaiah said earlier, loving yourself helps you to learn how to love people. You're to me, it was like, oh, people aren't so bad after all, because now I'm learning to love me and see me in everybody.
Yep.
Everybody.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it does make it easier. It makes it easier. Like last night, me and my husband kind of, we had a little, a disagreement. But throughout the disagreement, at one point, I found myself laughing on the inside of my head, and I'm just like, why isn't this phasing me? I would have been came through the roof on him. I would have been but it was just like, being that I'm reading the Course in Miracle, and not just reading it, but practicing.
Oh wow, yeah.
Well. So I'm there faithfully. Either I'm listening to the audiobook or I'm in my closet every day. I have to be. It's like it's calling me. It's a stronghold, and I like it. It's I don't know, but anyways, I remember thinking of something that the book that I've learned from the book, and I was just like, wow. I really love him. Like, I really don't see, there is no wrong. He don't owe me no apology, because for what? I choose to accept what I want to accept. You don't have to say sorry for something that I didn't even accept. I love you. I see you as my brother. Like, we not, yeah. And I found myself laughing on the situation that I know would have had me so upset. And with that being said, that was like one of the, I was okay. I was okay. And it was so good. There was no madness afterwards or anything. It was like a peace. But yeah, I just want to share that real quick. Watch out now. So listen, you guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Isaiah, thank you so much. I noticed you say he's working on a new book, you guys. So I'm going to go ahead, and that's his website at the bottom of the screen. So make sure you guys check it out. He also does t-shirts. And got his own company going on. So watch out now. I even heard him tell me that he was getting into a little TikTok. Do you have your TikTok up and running yet?
Yeah, everything. And you know what? It's it's 11. Now what happened is name change 11. And building the brand. Like right now, if you Google 11, the way it's spelled, E-L-L-E, it's the old English spelling of 11. It's some numerology that goes along with that. And so E-L-L-E-O-V-E, and you Google that, everything me pops up. And that's what you want. You want to build your brand to where when people are Googling you, you're popping up all over the place. And so I got some really funky stuff coming down.
Okay. So we got to keep in touch and stay in tune, because this episode of the LCL show I titled The Walk, because the walk is something that, it's your journey. It's the path that you're on, and the inspiration, and what are you doing as a unit, united we stand, and I firmly believe that. And I, just loving people and doing right by people, so because at the end of the day, I have to sleep, but thank you guys so much. And Christabella said, congrats to you. Everybody's sending Isaiah love. And make sure you go check out his website at 11.com. And Isaiah, thank you so much for coming on the LCL show.
Thank you.
We will be doing this again. So you guys make sure you tune in, like, and share. We're going to go ahead and say good night. Good night, Isaiah.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you. So you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the LCL show. If you have a story to share, if you have an idea, if you have a business, or a situation, or need advice, make sure you go to lclfit.com. Tell us your story. We'd like to hear from you. If you have a talent or anything, come on the LCL show. Watch out now. So listen, you guys, so make sure you go ahead and follow me on Instagram at Latasha_lifestyle. Also on Facebook at Latasha. And I got my munchkin in the back. He ready for me. He's like, Mommy, hurry up. I want some attention. So watch out now. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am your host, Latasha. And always remember, watch out now. Good night.